And April is with ARCreations. Laura's going to post her Facebook page in the side in case you have any questions for her later. I want to check out her website. And April, I'm going to turn it over to you for some holiday fun.
Oh, okay, guys. What you're going to do is make a small circle loop like this, okay? And you're going, the end that overlaps, you're going to want to pinch that together. The reason why we're making a small loop, this small loop is going to be what hides your wire or your pipe cleaner or your bread tie, whatever it is that you have, okay? You guys see me? Now, once you make your loop, you've got your pretty side of your ribbon showing, and then you've got your not pretty side. You want to flip this, you're going to twist it, and this is where I said the wired edge helps give you control. You're going to flip it, so I'm just going to take it and twist it between my fingers, and now my pretty side shows. We're going to make a big bow because this is going on top of the tree. I'm going to make 4 loops on each side of this center loop, okay? So once we twist, we're going to wrap it back around. Here's my side, and you're going to pinch it between your fingers again. So when I pinch it, guys, I'm holding it between my thumb. Let me grab a hold of this so you guys can see. My thumb and my index finger. Can you guys see that? And then once again, I'm back to my good side, bad side. So I'm going to twist it again. Twist. Keep holding it between your thumb and your index finger, and you're going to make another loop about the same size. Okay? Again, we got to twist so that our pretty side of our ribbon shows. Keep pinching that twist in between your fingers and loop again. We're going to keep doing this until we have even loops on both sides and we like the size of our bow. Are you guys able to see okay? I hope so. The other thing that I do sometimes, this loop is small, this one gets a little bit bigger, I might make this one a little bit bigger, and I might, you know, on and on and on, until I get the fullness that I like. Sometimes in doing that, you get this big old long one in the back that doesn't blend in with the rest, but again, that's where your fun wired edge comes in because it gives you control at the end when we're trying to make it beautiful and pretty. So let's see, I've got 3 on one side. I'm going to twist. I'm going to put my third one back there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've got one more I'm making on both sides. Is everybody keeping up with me? Hope so. This is going to be a beautiful bow. Kind of squish it in. I would say the hardest part of making a bow is holding all the pieces together. And I will tell you too, guys, there are tutorials all over Pinterest on how to make a bow, and I have tried them all because after crafting your entire life, your hands kind of cramp up when you're doing these sorts of things. And I've tried all of these different steps, and I still go back to this same way. This is the same way that my grandma did it. And the reason why is because I just feel like it gives the most control over our overall result. So there we are, guys. I've got 4 loops and 4 loops. And you guys can see, this is, in my opinion, not gorgeous. This loop's a little bit bigger. It kind of sticks out. Like, you know, it's not completely unison. No biggie. Don't freak out, okay? Okay, so now everything is stuck together. See how it's all pinched between my fingers right there, guys? What you're gonna do is now take your wire or your bread tie or your twine, and you're going to loop it through. So I'm gonna just put it through my little loop. See if you guys can see this. Put it through my little loop. And then I'm gonna wrap it around the whole thing, okay? And I am gonna pull this as tight as I can, and I am gonna twist it. And sometimes I will even take my wire cutters and grab a hold of it and twist it even tighter. And the reason I do that is because we're gonna start playing with these loops, and we don't want the whole thing to come falling apart, which I've done, believe me. You just gotta start all over again. So once that is finished, you can cut your tail off. And I cut my tail shorter than my last loop. So I'm gonna cut it right in there so nobody can see that, okay? All right. So now we have this bow and our wire is nice and long so we can attach it to our tree. I hope I'm not moving too fast for you guys. And what I'm gonna do now is separate. I'm gonna take my loops like this and I'm gonna start separating my loops so it looks wider and fuller. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing on both sides, kind of separate so it looks something like that. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is come over to my tree. See how this has got, see, this is what I mean by kind of deciding how big you want it. See how we've got a bare spot up here, got a bare spot down here. If we did more loops, we can continue to pull some loops around and fill that in. But we're gonna put it on top of a tree and our greenery is gonna fill that in. So I don't feel like that really matters, okay? So it looks something like that. And I'm gonna come over here, guys, make sure y'all can see me. And I already have a tree topper on my tree. If I didn't have my star up here, I would probably put my bow right up here on the top. And I would probably take some of those, you know, the picks, like the greenery picks, like this kind of stuff. And I would stick around my bow all around and in throughout my tree. But because I already have a tree topper, I'm gonna put him kind of right in here, like this. And I'm gonna take my wire and stick it down in there so that if the cat or the dog bump the tree and it all comes crashing down, our bow will still stick. And now we're gonna fluff this up and make it look nice and full and cute, okay? Something like that. All right. Now, if you guys wanted a tail, then I would just take a piece, another piece about, oh, I'm gonna say 18 to 24 inches. And I'll go ahead and pop this back off for a second. I would wrap him, divide him in half, and then lay him right here in the middle and re-wrap your wire around him. That way your tails are even on both sides. Okay. And then guys, you can twist and play and turn. Now, do you guys know how to cut the V's? Let me show you. So what you do so you get a symmetrical V, fold your wire or your ribbon in half like so. Take your scissors and cut like that. Voila, your pretty V. Do the same thing on the other side. And you're gonna cut from the tip down. I've cut the wrong way before, and then you have a backwards arrow, which is okay. You can still cut again, but your tail gets shorter and shorter every time you cut. Okay, so there, now we've got some pretty tails, let's see. And we can go back over to the tree if we want. Losing ornaments. This right here, guys, is why I don't like tails on my tree toppers. He just kind of sits there. Now, on a, like I said, on a wreath, you can kind of blend him in, but he looks funny with tails. That's just my personal opinion. So I'm not much for tails on a tree topper. But that's how you would do tails if you guys wanted tails. Okay, I'm gonna slide my tails back out. I'm sure you guys are still zhuzhing your bows. I hope nobody's hands are cramping because it's awful when you have to make bows for a wedding, pew bows for a wedding, although not too many people do that anymore. Now they have mostly flowers, but oh, two big bows in and your hand starts cramping up. Okay, so we're gonna go back to sticking this guy in here, and I'm gonna show you guys this insanely easy way to blend this ribbon through your entire tree. He is cute. I'm gonna probably leave him on here. So cute. Okay, ladies, how we doing? Any questions yet? Or is there like a lot of questions? Everybody's freaking out.
Everybody's busy. I don't see any questions in the chat box. Do you guys have any questions so far?
Is everybody freaking out? Like this is, here's the thing, guys. There are a lot of really easy ways, a lot easier ways to make your bow, but they're not, I don't want to teach them to you because they never look good. They're done. They never look good.
You want the real way, April. Thank you.
Okay, so once you guys get your bow on your tree and you want to start adding some beautiful pieces kind of down and around, the easiest thing to do is to just cut you some strips of your ribbon about, this is about 12 inches, might be a little bit longer, so about 12 inches. You can go shorter at the top of your tree, go longer at the bottom of your tree. And if you again, this is where your wired edge comes into play. If you cut a piece that's just maybe an inch or two too long, you can just fold it and tuck it in. So what you're gonna do is cut a little strip. And you're gonna kind of pinch it together at the top. And I can already tell where I'm going with this. It's gonna be too long, so I'm just gonna fold it. So I folded it down about 2 inches, pinched it together at the top. And then what I'm gonna do is probably go right, where do I wanna go? I don't like this guy here anymore, so I'm gonna move him. But I am going to tuck this bad boy kind of right in my tree. The little tail that I squished up together, I'm just gonna tuck it in there. And I'm gonna take the other end and squish it together. And I am going to come over here and tuck it in here. And now we have our first really pretty loop. And then we're gonna do it again, but I'm gonna do it like maybe over here. So this is a little bit longer piece because my tree's getting fatter. I might like my loops to be a little bit longer or thicker. The other thing I would suggest, guys, put up your tree, make sure your lights are working, put your lights on, put any greenery or picks. Like I have a lot of different picks stuck in my tree. So I like a lot of texture and color and things. So I just put like picks all over in my tree, stick all your picks in, do your ribbon, and then your ornaments last. So we're gonna squish this piece together, and I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna stick him in one of my branches, like right in here somewhere. Maybe. I went back in there a little bit so that he looks like he goes into my tree. And then same thing, I'm gonna bring him down and tuck him in again, like that. And then your cute little wired edge, guys, just kind of loop him out. Can you guys see that? Do I need to move in a little bit so you guys can get a better, I'm just gonna come in a little bit. So there's my bow. And then here's the pretty loops. It's just, it's not like one big ribbon wrapped all the way around the tree. It's just like a 12-inch loop tucked into a branch, tucked into a branch. Down here, another one. tucked into a branch, tucked into a branch. Sorry, I was getting a phone call. My mother, she's called me like 6 times in the last hour. Do your guys' moms do that?
No, I can't say that because she's on the Zoom right now.
Sorry. Okay.
Well, I'm reading through the chat box, and this has been a huge aha because we've all been trying to use all this ribbon and run it all the way down the tree, and then we don't have enough ribbon. And so everyone's like, this is an awesome tip just to use a short piece. So thank you for that.
Yes, for sure. So that is exactly it. And speaking of throwing our parents under the bus, so my dad was big about ribbon. And when I was younger, I hated it. So I'm like, Dad, no, let's go get a tree top or something, not with the ribbon. And it was because of how he wanted to decorate it. And guys, I'm not kidding. It was like, here's the big bow at the top. And my dad would do this, okay? And he's not crafty, but he did this. Big bow at the top, and then he would take a string and run it down to here. And then another string, and then ran it down. It looked like the tree was striped. It was awful. And every year I'd go over for Christmas, and I didn't have the heart to tell him that it looked so bad. So yes, this is great. And same thing, I know a lot of people who try and wrap it, and I've tried that, and I just don't get the big, fun, beautiful loops. I want it to look loopy like the bow at the top of the tree. And so, yes, that is, and that's why I don't put the tail on my topper, because in retrospect, this is your tail. It's kind of going down into your tree and looping out, and down into your tree and looping out. And the other thing I will tell you guys too, when it comes to decorating, odd numbers are best. So you don't always have to have an opposing loop on each side. It's more appealing to your eye if you have an uneven number of loops and they're just kind of splotchy around the tree. It gives it more dimension. So,
another question.
Yes.
What direction do your ribbon loops go on the tree? Like down, around? I think I'm asking that question correctly.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I kind of go whichever way toots my horn. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. I would say more than not it goes down, but I might go off to the side a little bit. I definitely don't go from one side to the other.
Okay.
Me personally, I think it would still look great though if you wanted to go from side to side, as long as you can tuck it in and get that big fun loop like what we have here. But yeah, I generally, when I do them, I 9 times out of 10 go from top to bottom and tuck it, but I might angle it a little bit. So, okay guys, any other questions on the tree? Because I'm going to show you a smaller ribbon. We're going to make another bow. I'm going to show you a smaller ribbon, and we're going to do a wreath. And I'm going to turn my little camera here a little bit. So this is the wreath that we're going to do. This wreath, you guys, is the $3 wreath from Walmart. It's super plain Jane. In fact, I just saw Michael's has them the exact same wreath, same size, everything, for $3.50 on sale right now. So it is extremely cheap, and it's the ugly greenery, but that's okay because we're going to make it beautiful. So you can do a wreath like this, you guys, for like less than $10. And like I said, it's big. So this is a 32-inch star. So you can imagine this wreath is probably, the wire ring underneath is probably an easy 20 inches. So what we're going to do, I have 2 ribbons, both that coordinate. Both are 1.5 inches, both have wired edges. But I thought I would get super creative and do both ribbons in one bow. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but it's the exact same process. And when you use 2 ribbons at one time with different textures, you don't have to make as many loops. Remember too, we're now making a wreath or a ribbon for a wreath. So our bow doesn't have to be as big either. So yeah, little food for thought. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do is layer one on top of the other, okay? I have a hot mess of ribbon all over the place. I don't know if you guys can see it. So we're going to layer one on top of the other, and we're gonna start the exact same way, okay? Make a small loop, like this, okay? And we're gonna pinch it together between our thumb and our index finger, like so, okay? Now, I've got the good ribbon on this one where you can, well, actually I have one of each. I have one that has a good side and one that doesn't matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and twist them off. Now my loops on this one are not gonna be as big because, I mean, I just wanted to accent my wreath. So I'm looping it around and I'm gonna twist the bottom back into my finger. We're gonna loop it around again, and I'm gonna go this way so you guys can see from my side. So here I am. I've looped it. I wish I were, I'm gonna go this way. It's backwards. So, okay. Loop it around like this, okay? And then I'm gonna pinch it between my fingers. And then I'm gonna take it and twist it. And I'm gonna pinch the twist because that's where my wire is gonna go to hold everything. And I think on this one, I'm only gonna do 3 loops on each side because in reality, that's 6 loops of ribbon once we peel these guys apart. Twist. Gina, we doing okay on time? I don't want to take up every evening.
We're right at 7:30. So
okay, great.
If has a few more minutes to see this last bow, that'd be awesome.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, one more on this other side. And we're gonna loop it around and we're gonna stop it there. And I'm gonna get my wire and we're gonna cut this bad boy off. Cut. And then here is my other wire. The other reason why I like to use wire, I don't know if I said this before, guys, is because if I were putting this wreath on my front door, I would really want this to be, everything to be nice and secure together. So the wire, I can actually wire to the wire frame of the wreath. Okay, so guys, with this, now we start pulling our ribbons apart. So our center piece like this, and then like this, and then I'm gonna go opposite way. Okay. And then I'm gonna put, same thing, opposite. So my textures are going both directions. Okay, now we're gonna flip it around, do the same thing on the other side. Pull them apart. And we're just gonna fluff them and zhuzh them. Fluff them and zhuzh them. I always say in all my demos, you just gotta zhuzh it a little bit. I don't even know how to spell that. If I wanted to hashtag it, I don't even know how to spell it. Zhuzh it, like that. He is freaking cute. Okay, I love that. See what I mean about all the different textures. Now on this guy, I want a tail. So, actually I already kind of have one, but I think I want one of each color. So we're gonna cut 2. I'm gonna do something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my V's now. There's 1. Remember how we just fold it in half? We're gonna cut it again. So there's my little V tips. Fold it in half. Cut it to a point. And then we're gonna wire our tail to the back side of our ribbon. I like the smaller plaid in front. I like buffalo plaid, but I'm really liking the smaller one. So, I know, do I keep going off the picture? I moved my camera, so now I'm all backwards. Okay, so we got him in there and we're just gonna twist our wire back around our tail like this. And now we're going to stick him in. So I have these little signs, you guys. This is just one I grabbed off the tree. So it's just like an old piece of trim. I'm gonna stick him up in here. You know, they've got some cute little signs like at the Dollar Tree. You can score some cute stuff. But I'm just gonna stick him in here like that. Then we're gonna take this cute ribbon and I'm gonna put him somewhere over in here. You guys see? Yes, like this. I'm gonna take my tails, and this is what I said about my wired edge, because you can kind of manipulate it and bend it. Tuck it into your greenery. Now I gotta fluff it again because I squished his loops. I gotta go on this side, you guys, sorry. Fluff. Okay. And then guys, these 97 cents from Walmart, these little picks, or 98 cents, whatever it is. But then we're gonna take them and we're literally just going to stick them into our greenery like this. I might put another guy out here so he looks like one of those $50 wreaths that we see. And actually, I like him weighted to this side. It doesn't bother me that he has more going over here. I think it's it brings my eye in. I see my bow and I kind of go around this pretty wreath. And then this is just Michael's, 99 cents also. But he's just a little more texture, like this. So, aside from my ribbon, which I already used on my tree, I have a $5, a $3 wreath, and $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 in picks, 10 bucks. I'm gonna bring this in so y'all can see just a little bit better. There we go, can you guys see? Don't be afraid of your ribbon. Wired edge ribbon, it is your friend. Wired edge ribbon is your friend. Okay guys, any other questions? I hope that was a learning experience. And I will tell you the same thing I tell my ladies when they come for craft night and they all start freaking out. I let them bring wine. I'm like, guys, pour yourself a glass of wine first and relax. This is supposed to be fun, not stressful. So just make yourself a glass of wine and start playing with your ribbon. Oh, hold on, I think I can't hear you. I think I might.
Okay, let me say that again.
There you are. Yes, I can now.
I don't see any questions in the chat box. It's just all ahs and oohs, and we've loved this, and this has been so much fun, so cute, and thank you so much. So I think you have everybody's creativity just lurking about what they can do for the holidays. Thank you so very much.
Exactly right. So good deal. I'm so glad to help.
Yes, absolutely. And you guys feel free to go to ARCreations on her Facebook page if you want to check out her crafts. And most of all, send us pictures too of your creations that you make. Thanks for sharing tonight with us, and happy holidays.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.